Hi, y'all. It is the Southern Belle from Hell here, and I hope everyone is having an amazing holiday season. Thank you so much for hopping into my channel if you are new here, and if you are a returning subscriber. Thank you so much for continuing to support me. I have a cute little small business bakery idea for the town of Henford-on-Bagley. I feel like Henford-on-Bagley needs a cute little bakery to add to their aesthetic. But before we get too much into that, thank you to Instant Gaming. If you don't know about Instant Gaming, guys, Instant Gaming has so many wonderful deals on not just The Sims, but thousands of titles for PC, PlayStation, Nintendo, and Black Friday sales are still going on until the end of November. So use my link below. And again, thank you so much to Instant Gaming for sponsoring today. Back into the build here, guys. So I had this idea for my save file because I have this cute little family that have a farm and it is super successful. They make their money, they are thriving. But they have a daughter who really loves cooking. She's all about it. And I was thinking, wouldn't it just be adorable if she, instead of moving away from Henford-on-Bagley, decided to stay and do a little bakery shop. And I decided to have her parents, now that they are older in age, move into this side of the bakery, and she takes care of the farm. And yeah, so we have a little bit of a family business happening here. I had this cute little idea from Pinterest. Okay, this did not come from my brain. I'm creative, I'm not that creative. And it was like this little English style shop in Henford-on-Bagley that looks like really old, like it's been there for a while, and it is connected almost to like this townhouse, two-story building. And I just thought it was a really cute concept to have as my Sims have gotten older and their daughter has taken an interest in baking. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of making sure the outside looks really cute and whimsical and looks like it is something that could be out of a shop that you would see in Edinburgh or something. I've never been there, but I do be obsessed. Okay, with those pictures, it looks like a fairy tale. I would love to go there someday. If I have any viewers from over there, hi. I think where you live is absolutely gorgeous. Anyways, I am kind of trying to figure out how I want the outside of this lot to look. I knew I wanted little dormers. I definitely wanted a fireplace inside. I wanted to make it look realistic and cozy and just really sweet, just very wholesome. And as you know, if you have watched my streams, I very seldomly do wholesome gameplay. This is a family that I play with not on stream. I guess I saved the non-wholesome bits for stream. I apologize for that. If you guys would like to see me stream a PG-13 type of family gameplay, yeah, I guess I do that in the comfort of my own gameplay experience. But I digress. I am trying to get these windows to match up. I am using so many things from the Cottage Living expansion pack as well as the Cats and Dogs expansion pack, because I feel like they go really, really well together. And they have this kind of rustic cottage feel, like the texture of the wood and the door and the windows, and it just all kind of like fits together. And in this side of the lot, I decided to have kind of like an outdoor eating area that also connects to a little backyard for this kind of townhouse living space that this bakery is connected to. And since this lot is right smack dab in the middle of the town of Henford-on-Bagley, I tried to make it blend in with its surroundings so that it's not a lot that is sticking out like a sore thumb. And what I'm going to do is mainly make this backyard kind of, I hate to say like it has cement, but you know, like it's got those cobblestones that you guys see like around town. So it kind of meshes in and fits in with the rest of its surroundings. Now there's not much of a backyard here. And the reason why, I was thinking, you know, the parents, they have worked all of their life on the farm. They still love to garden. They love outdoor type of activities. However, they're old. They don't have the stamina to deal with all the farm animals. So I decided to just kind of make a little area for the mom and the dad, now that they're old, to just have a little garden, and not something that they really have to fuddle with too much. But this side, I don't have much space, so I'm trying to kind of coat this area with vines and kind of make this spot just look a little bit more textured in with the landscape. And I found these cute little flowery bushes, you know, to just keep this area really, really sweet and wholesome. But now we're kind of moving back into the outdoor eating area, and I'm trying to kind of make this spot look a little bit more like a business would look in this type of town, in this type of area. And I'm using the swatch that you can lay down from the Get Together expansion pack. A lot of the little details from Windenburg, they go really, really well with Henford-on-Bagley. Every time I think of like the world of The Sims and all of the different places that you get with different packs, I always think of Windenburg being like a city that isn't far or isn't too big of a shot away from Henford-on-Bagley, just because the aesthetics are very European, and it just feels like if it was on a map, it would be right by each other. So I'm kind of just fiddling around with the live edit menu and pulling out objects that are from just cottage living, trying to mesh these decorations together so that it fits together more seamlessly. And I was using the tool mod a lot to kind of make that sign stick above the door. And I'm about to do the same with these flowers, because again, it's live edit. It doesn't want to just stick like a piece of decoration that you would get in the build by catalog, whatever. I'm having kind of a hard time categorizing all of these things, but I took a deep dive into the live edit menu, and there are so many little things that came with this pack. And I made a video not very long ago about why this is still one of my favorite expansion packs. I listed a ton of reasons, but a more, I guess, valid reason would be because we got a bunch of stuff. We got what we paid for. If you guys have been playing The Sims for a while, like enough to where you are aware of not just The Sims 4, but The Sims 3, maybe The Sims 2. If you are old school like me and have been playing since the first Sims came out, you remember that expansion packs, they came with a lot. Like, you definitely could tell a difference when you opened up your game. And it wasn't just like annoying little windows that would pop up. You got so much stuff to decorate your house, new interactions, new wardrobe, new build and buy. I mean, just so much stuff just out of the wazoo. And I feel like cottage living gave you that. You definitely had a lot more interactions of so many things to decorate your house, and it kind of fit in with different lots like this. If you want to make like a small business type of thing like I'm doing, it would fit in. But I don't think many of the expansion packs that have come out have really given us that amount of just versatility. If you disagree, please comment down below. Or if you agree, then tell me your thoughts, because I could be wrong, but it is definitely one of my favorite packs. That, and of course, Life and Death. I love a little dark gameplay, and that just gave me everything. Now, if they would have meshed life and death with vampires and the werewolves and just did like a whole occult pack, I feel like that would definitely validate the $40. Just saying, just saying. So we are kind of tying up this eating area. I really wanted to make that the main area that people eat at when they come to the bakery. You can't really run this like a restaurant. Like if you have dine out as a pack, it doesn't really function as well if you would just run it as a small business, like the small business function that we got with businesses and hobbies. It is so much easier to just run it that way rather than going through the whole dine out thing. I try to make it look restaurant-like, but it's definitely more functional as a small business in gameplay. Like, it just makes it a lot easier. And it's more fun. It's more interactive in that sense. So right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to get an idea of the layout of kind of like this townhouse that's attached to the bakery. And at this time when I was building it, we needed an update, and you will see me mess around with these stairs a lot. It keeps lighting up like it's going to be deleted, and we got an update and it fixed it, but you're gonna see that happening a lot, and don't worry, it is fixed. It's not like an ongoing issue, but during the build process, yeah, it was annoying because it just kept lighting up like it was gonna be deleted. But whatever, if you've been playing The Sims, you know we need a million fixes, and that was just one of many. But I wanted this townhouse to be like kind of small and just kind of perfect for my elderly Sims to live out their retirement days, and they have their daughter's bakery connected to them. They can help if they want. And they're just kind of proud to see like their legacy, like food from their farm being used to prepare all of these dishes that their daughter makes. And the fact that their daughter is continuing their dream of, you know, having a successful farm in Henford-on-Bagley. So yeah, here I am fiddling around with these darn stairs. That fix could not have come soon enough, but it did come. And at the same time I am building this, we had a couple of packs come out, a couple of kits. So I kind of throw around a couple of things from those kits just to kind of see how well it goes. I haven't been too impressed with the kits here lately, but there's always like an item or two that I'm like, oh, you know, this is cute. This is, you know, I could use it. But none of it where I'm like, oh my God, where has this kit been all of my gaming life? But I digress. I do use it just to kind of see how it looks and, you know, add a little bit that I haven't used a million times before. And right now I'm just trying to get the lighting right. I really want it to look very antique-ish, if you get my meaning. Like you can tell that an older couple lives here and that they live in a town that has businesses that are very old. So I'm just trying to get that aesthetic across, and I'm adding some things from businesses and hobbies and dine out to really give it that separation of this is the business side versus this is the residential side of things. But I really can't stand the kiosk stations that we got from businesses and hobbies. It looks so modern, and when you're trying to do a business in a older looking venue like this, it just sticks out. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. And I think there's some CC where you can make it make sense, but I didn't want to, I'm trying not to use a whole lot of CC in my save file. But I decided to use some pieces where, you know, you can put up pies and cakes, cupcakes, and all that great stuff. And that is what you see in the hallway leading outside. And I do place down 2 spots inside the bakery where people can sit if it's a rainy day, all of that good stuff. I'm not really expecting this bakery to be like a place where people sit down and eat, but of course the option is there. I'm kind of thinking more along the lines of kind of like a New Orleans bakery where you go there, you get your little pastry, you get your coffee, and then you just walk your merry way on out the door. that's usually what I think of when I think of a bakery. I don't really think of it being like a sit down restaurant, but I did want to kind of liven up the place and give that option. And I felt like it looked really picturesque in this part of the Henford-on-Bagley. I believe this neighborhood is called Old Finchwick. It just looked really nice on the map, and I was like, this was kind of a perfect little addition to the shops that are already there. And on the business side, you have to have a bathroom, so I add a cute little bathroom for guests to come in, do their business. I try to make it look like your typical mom and pop small bathroom, you know. Usually, at least some of the small businesses that I've been to, their bathrooms look absolutely frightening. Like, I get it, it's a small business, but I mean, come on now. So no, this is not giving that. This is giving like, thank you so much for coming by. Come back and get a donut or something. But I digress. That was what I was going for, and I really liked the way this side turned out. And as far as gameplay goes, it's been really, really fun to kind of see everybody interact. And they sit around, they talk. Most of them go outside, even in the rain, but there's umbrellas over the eating areas, so it's okay. But I love how the Sims can just easily die, but they have no fear. They have no fear of going outside in the rain when they're eating. They'll run around. They will be scared, but they don't actually try to like go home or go inside. It's very interesting. It's an interesting way to live. Now I'm moving on to the kitchen part of the bakery, and I wanted it to look really rustic and really cute and kind of just look like your grandma's kitchen. I mix and match, and you can tell a little bit, but during gameplay, like it's not that noticeable. I use a mix and match of the cabinets that we got from Cottage Living and the Country Kitchen kit that we got, and it looks very similar in gameplay, but I do notice like when you're building, you can tell like there's a slight difference in the shade of yellow. But yeah, I don't really notice it in gameplay at all. I just wanted a little bit more variety so you could see tools and you could see like possible containers and ingredients. And I feel like when you just use one swatch, they look exactly the same. All the containers look the same, and I didn't want that. I wanted this kitchen to look really interesting and really busy, but also very like down home. And I decided to put up little decorations. Maybe she won the best pie at the Finchwick Fair. I don't know. I just thought this area was just super cute and very, what's the word? Like it matches the aesthetic. Wholesome. I guess just wholesome, because I can't think of what I'm trying to say right now. But it kind of like, especially with my family that I've been using, it's just been so cute. It's been so cute to have like a little family business that is so like beneficial to the community, I guess. But I try to add like little pieces of the family and little pieces of personality in it. But we are now moving on to the living quarter side. I'm sorry if you hear a motor. I have these neighbors that they got a Mustang, and where I live in Mississippi, they love to get like the cheapest mufflers out there and then just let the whole neighborhood know that they put mufflers on their vehicle. Yeah, so that's what I deal with on a consistent basis every time they come and go. But I digress. We are moving into the living room of this space. And again, we have an old couple that lives here. And when I think of an old couple that have been happily married all of these years, they have all of these memories together, I think of a lot of clutter. I think of like a lot of stuff that they have had, you know, their entire time living together. And I'm not thinking of like a hoarder, okay? These people ain't nasty. But, you know, there's so many things that they've accumulated over the years. And it's useful. It's like games from when their daughter was growing up, books, toys, little comfort items here and there. And like I think of like my grandmother's house growing up. And this is what was so amazing to me. She would have so many books and she took very good care of them. And they were like books from the 60s. And it would be like different copies of William Shakespeare, or it would just be like a romance novel or something. And her shelf would just be lined with them. And no telling how long she has had these books, but I thought they were so interesting and they added so much personality. And I think about that when I do a build for an older couple, all these little knickknacks there that you can tell are a little bit older and they're a little bit on the disheveled side of things. So yeah, I just love adding those little pieces of personality to builds. Like I've done quite a few builds for elderly couples in the game, and I wouldn't say they're my favorite because sometimes I get tired of it because I'm like, oh gosh, I've done so many builds like this, but I definitely get into it. I definitely get into the storytelling, and since these are Sims that I actually like play with, I think about all of the little things in their life, and I just think it's perfect. And they've never had an animal before until they got a little bit older, and they adopted a cat. And I said, you know what, maybe that's something that's stayed with them, and we're always going to have a cat. We're always going to have a cat on this side of this lot. And I love that idea. So now I'm moving on to the residential kitchen, and I wanted it to look slightly different from the bakery. I didn't want to deviate too much because I still wanted that old cottagey, rustic looking style. And I wanted it to be, calm colors and things like that. But I didn't want it to look like an actual copy of what's going on in the bakery. So I went with like this pale wood swatch, and I loved it. I kind of just stuck with the country kitchen kit that we got, and yeah, it ended up just being a really adorable little kitchen. And I didn't want it to be a huge kitchen, but it's definitely a lot bigger than their little farmhouse that they spent all of their married life in. And now that they're older, they enjoy a little bit of a bigger kitchen, a little bit more space. They're waiting on grandkids, so they can't wait to kind of get in there and cook for them, which I really need to get started on grandkids for this couple. Yeah, the bakery's been a lot. Okay, but I'm going into my own family story now instead of the build. But it's a little cramped space. It is, but I didn't want to overcrowd this lot, and I was just thinking an older couple who have had a huge farm would probably not want a huge space to take care of. So to me, this felt really perfect for them. And I really like the way like all of these little decorations and knickknacks blended together. I don't know, I just really enjoyed doing this build for these Sims. I used a couple of things from Adventure Awaits. That pack, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't know if I love it or I hate it. There's a couple of decoration items that are very rustic and they look very real, like it's really like textured. And I do like those, but as far as gameplay, I just really haven't gotten into it. If you guys have any tips on like gameplay of getting into that type of pack, let me know down below, because I just really have not been that enthused by it. I get kind of annoyed of all the getaways that the game keeps offering, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, if I keep getting away, when am I going to be home? I don't know. I'm a homebody anyways, and I guess I make my Sims like that. Maybe I should get out of that comfort zone. But right now I'm cluttering up the kitchen. Again, I think of just a elderly person's house as being very cluttered, cute little knickknacks everywhere. And I I think of my grandmother's kitchen a lot. She had all of these little containers, and some of them had sugar, some of them had rice, some of them had, you know, salt, and hopefully you didn't confuse the two. She knew exactly what was what. I didn't half the time. So yeah, I would mess up a lot of cups of coffee over there. And now we are moving into the bathroom that is downstairs, and I just wanted to make like a cute little simple bathroom that is blending in with this beige and yellow color scheme that I had working off of the kitchen, so that it wasn't like a complete color shock. There are so many cute little swatches that go with the cottage living, you know, like wallpapers and stuff, but I don't know. Some of them are kind of like, you've got to have an idea. Like, you've got to have a specific style down. Like, the greens is very, like, it's rich. It's a rich green. So I just wanted to kind of stick more to like the calmer colors. Now we're moving on upstairs, and I'm just trying to figure out how to decorate this space without repeating the decorations. And I started delving into the different things we got from Adventure Awaits and going back and forth in between different packs that, you know, have a similar aesthetic. Now, this light colored bedroom is going to be their bedroom. That is the elderly couples. And the blue bedroom is more like a storage room. It is a room that they hope to turn into one day a room for a grandchild. However, that has not happened yet. So it's just kind of like an office slash storage area. I do have a bed in there just in case their daughter ends up working late and gets exhausted and, you know, wants to have a place to crash before going home. Because if you have done a small business and that small business is not where you live, your poor sim gets exhausted. I had done a stream where I had this girl, she had a small business at her house, but then she also expanded and had it at a bigger location. And the bigger location just made so much money. So I had her working over there, and she kept passing out at work. It was ridiculous. So I said, you know what? Instead of making it be like a grandchild's room that doesn't exist yet, I'm gonna just have that like as a realistic type of storage room with a bed for their daughter, just in case she needs to crash. And that would be perfect for my gameplay. So right now I am just cluttering up this elderly couple's side of their beds and, you know, just trying to make it look a little bit more realistic, full of personality. They both, again, they were farmers. They loved gardening. So I wanted to add a little bit of greenery to this room to just kind of like show their personalities and their backgrounds a little bit. I try to add in just like different spots and different things where they, you know, you can tell that that was their background. I went ahead and I put up a picture of like an infant because it's coming. I don't know when I'm going to get their daughter to settle down, but it is coming. They are going to have a grandchild eventually. But I just really wanted this room to be reminiscent of them and who they are as a cute little elderly couple. And yeah, I liked adding this TV because, you know, when I'm old, I'm sorry, leave me alone. I want to watch some TV. But I didn't want it to look so modern because this is such an older looking build. So this picture frame that acts as a TV was just like perfect for this build. And of course, some cozy rugs. It just seemed like really comfortable. It was the thing to do, you know. I hope you guys enjoyed this because I enjoyed building this house so much. I'm not at the end of this video yet, but I was thinking about like all of my little reasons for doing the different styles that I'm doing. And it was just neat to kind of build something. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've built something for my own personal Sims. So I really hope you enjoy this kind of video because I'm probably going to do more where I'm building for a specific sim that I've created. And now moving on to the little guest bedroom slash storage room. So I decided to kind of fill this area with little knickknacks to kind of show that this is not someone's room. This is just like extra space. But I do not have a computer in this house. So I decided to kind of pop in between all of these little clutter items, a little computer for them, because in The Sims, there's not much you can do if you don't have a computer. I mean, you could go about it the hard way. However, like when it comes to like ordering little things you're out of, it's just so convenient for your Sims to have a computer. And I decided to kind of get the typewriter looking one because these parents, this elderly couple, they don't really mess with technology. They're kind of like your real typical elderly couple. They have farmed all of their life. They haven't needed much technology. So when it comes to like a little computer or whatever, they're not going to have like state of the art, best of the best. They're just going to have like a computer that does its job, right? Now we are moving on to the master bathroom, and I really wanted this bathroom to be like big and cute, and it looks, you know, like it's been updated, but it still has that old feel to it. And I made it a little bit bigger than the bathroom downstairs because it's going to be, you know, shared between them and also when their daughter comes over and things like that. So I tried to do a little bit of different styles when it came to this space and make it look realistic. I usually skip over when I do bathrooms in my builds, but I did a couple of things that was different, so I decided to keep this part of the build into the video and maybe inspire you to do a little bit of something different with your bathrooms, because I don't know about you guys, my bathrooms start to look the same. Like they start to look pretty generic, and it's kind of like the bathrooms are just an afterthought. So I was using a lot of different decor pieces that we got from the Sleek Bathroom Kit and the Bathroom Essentials Kit. We keep getting all of these kits, guys, but a couple of those items, they do make your bathrooms look a little bit more interesting. It doesn't look the same every single time. But I tried to like just add personality and add some type of like storytelling. I put the teeth in the little glass cup to kind of like, again, show that this is the elderly couple's main bathroom. And yeah, we are tying up the end of this video. I'm going to add a little bit more decorative knickknacks, but we are going to have a quick little tour of the bakery and this house, and stay tuned for that because I got some beautiful screenshots in here. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. It is coming up, and thank you so much for spending time with me today. Until next time, have a good one.